This video is going to be a walkthrough on how to take a customer list on Shopify and use it to significantly improve your campaign results on Facebook and on Instagram. Now, before I even get into this video and talk about the walkthrough where I'm going to get inside my screen and literally show you step by step how to make this happen, I want to give you an idea on why it's important. I want you to imagine for a second that you had 20 customers come into your shop and 20 of them were to purchase. The thing that would come to your mind is, man, I wish I had tens of thousands of more people like these individuals. And this is exactly what we're able to do with lookalike audiences. We can go into our Shopify store, go to our high spending customers, download say 50 of them or 100 of them, and then give that data to Facebook and say, hey, Facebook, give me another 100,000 people that match these individuals to the nearest 1%. Now, why that's going to help us is on Facebook, when you run your ads, you want to try and get in front of the best possible potential customers you can get in front of, right? So you're always trying to figure out who your demographic is, who your target audience is, who your customer avatar is. When you do this, you're going to let Facebook do the hard work for you. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that with the introduction of iOS 14, lookalike audiences have been impacted. Less data being filtered through due to people opting out is going to mean that lookalike audiences are going to be impacted. So where you would typically download a list of 50 people and create a lookalike audience from, or 100 people, you now want to try and do 200 to make up for the lost data points. So without further ado, let's jump into the screen and make this happen. So what you want to do is you want to keep your ad account open, your ads manager, and you want to go to your Shopify store. And inside your Shopify store, on the left-hand side here, you want to go to your customers and you're going to be able to see your customers. There's a lot of filter options that you have here. Now, take a look at this export button on the top right. We're going to be using that in a few steps. But first, what you want to do is you want to come over here and you want to go to your highest spending customers. You can change this according to the customers who've purchased the most from you, the most returning customers. But for me, I want to come here and I want to create a lookalike audience from customers who have spent the most amount of money from our store. Now, if your store hasn't received any purchases yet, then you're not going to be able to do this. Usually this works really well for established e-commerce brands that already have some data. One thing to keep in mind with your store, the amount spent isn't always going to be an indication on whether that customer is a good customer. Because you can see here, with one of our clients, one order meant $5,000 in sales, and that was just one single order. So what I'd want to do is possibly come over here to my returning customers. Now I've segregated my customer group to people who've returned and shopped more than once, and then I can go and filter it from amount spent highest to lowest. And now I have people who've ordered at least twice. You can see here 8 times, 3 times. So what you're going to do is you're going to go over here, click that export button, and you can go to current page, you can go to all customers, and that would actually give you 112 of those returning customers. And you can go to export customers, and it's saying that the export will be delivered via email. Now, after you've got your export file, what you're going to do is you're going to go into your ads manager, click business tools, and you're going to find audiences, which is just over here. And when you go into your audiences, we're going to upload that CSV file that was downloaded directly from Shopify. Give this a second to load. So when this page is loaded, you're going to go to create audience, custom audience, customer list, next. And once you're here, you're going to click next. You're going to say yes to customer values included in my customer list. Tick that box, next again. Then you're going to upload that file. Then it's going to ask you what your value column is. In this case, I'm going to go for amount spent. And you can name your audience here. I might go highest LTV customers Shopify. LTV standing for lifetime value. I press next. And then I'm just going to make sure this all looks correct. And then on action needed, I may not need to upload a lot of this stuff here. If it's just their names, last name, address, those don't need to be uploaded. I click import and create, and once it's up, it's going to take a few minutes for it to actually populate. But what you can do is once it populates, you can select that create a lookalike audience and do what we mentioned at the beginning of this video. So you can create a lookalike audience of this customer list. So I might go at the beginning here. This is my lookalike source. And then I have an option here to select, I want a lookalike of 1%, 2%, 3%, all the way to 10%. 1% is the closest matching audience to what you've uploaded. As you get closer to 10%, it gets wider and wider. I'm going to type in Australia. Nearest 1%, it's going to tell you how large that audience is, roughly 185,000 people. I'm going to select create audience, and now that audience has been created. So then when I go to create a campaign, and I'm in that ad set level, and I select custom audience, I'm actually going to have this option to target that ad to this lookalike audience here. Now, a few additional tips here to keep in mind. You can do this with almost anything. I just chose to go high spending customers that were returned. You can go the most purchased customers, the customers who've actually come and placed the most amount of orders. So you could go based on the amount of orders someone has purchased rather than the amount of money that they have spent with you. You can create custom audiences from people who have added to cart on your website, custom audience of people who've reached the checkout page. I hope you guys enjoyed that walkthrough and found it valuable. If you have any questions about this or you're stuck, feel free to drop that question or point in the comments below, and we'll be sure to help you out. See you guys in the next video.